Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I would like to explain about teacher belief and practice in teaching reading at Islamic secondary school in Indonesia. First is understanding and accept of reading comprehension in the most traditional view. Reading is seen as linear process in which the reader translates the text from the small unit. Based on behaviorism theory in 1950, reading began to be seen as an activity in which the reader responds to stimuli in a plain text without an adequate explanation of how this process occurred. This view has been criticized for its strong reliance on learning the formal structure of sentence in a text. In the late 1960 and 1970, research began to focus more on the role of the reader and reader fluency, leading to the development of cognitive theory of reading that recognizes the active cognitive process of activating background knowledge in the reader's mind. In short, structural cognitive and metacognitive reading theory give us better understanding of how reading is understood. A pedagogical model for teaching EFL reading. The bottom-up reading model fosters the practice of reading in instruction, which develops student decoding ability from the ground up, starting with the smallest unit, single letter, mixed letter, and constructing word and phrase. The top-down model views reading as a process of reconstructing meaning and emphasizes understanding a large unit of meaning than word and phrase. The alternative model combines the two previous bottom-up and bottom-down reading model. According to this model, reading involves the interaction of all meaning-gathering activity. This model seeks to develop student metacognitive skill in reading. Harmer argued that reading instruction can be facilitated in a number of ways, such as providing advanced control before reading, providing example and more practice while reading, and providing feedback to students for activity carried out in pre-reading and during reading. Method. The explanatory case study design is used in this study because it is very suitable for the purpose of the study, namely to test insight, discoveries, and interpretation rather than testing hypotheses. Merriam and Siddall, 2016. Finding and discussion. Data analysis reflected three emerging themes. 1. Teachers' preparation of good reading instruction. Second, teachers' view on problems in teaching reading. Third, the teacher practice in teaching reading in the classroom. Teachers' view on problem in teaching. The challenges of teaching in this study are: A. Lack of strategy of teaching vocabulary. B. Limited list of strategy of teaching reading. C. Use of teaching materials. D. Increased student motivation and independence in reading. Use of teaching material. Teaching material that do not attract student attention and increase their motivation to read. All teachers in this study report that they use government textbooks in teaching reading. They really use authentic teaching material that attracts student attention. Improve student reading motivation and independence in this study. It is believed that the cases of reading instruction is also influenced by the low motivation and independence of students in reading. Therefore, teachers believe that they need to be equipped with strategy to increase student motivation and autonomy to read English text. Benson, 2030. Teacher practice in teaching reading in class. Begin reading instruction with grammar and drill explanation. Then he asks his student to listen and imitate the reading to get the correct pronunciation. After that, he distributes the section and question to the class. The main activity are student reading and doing reading exercise on their own. We look at teacher supervision, feedback, and explanation. Kleonsky, 2009. Generally, the teacher discusses problem or unusual vocabulary found in the reading text. Asks students to find the main idea and answer other questions related to the reading. Conclusion and implication. The classic problem in ELT is that reading is often a skill that is tested, not taught. Teachers are more likely to test or assess student competencies than teaching them. The teacher asks students to complete various exercises about the content of the reading text, which is done orally, either individual or in groups. Then the teacher checks and confirm the correctness of the answer. This finding imply that there needs to be improvement in how reading teaching is carried out in Islamic secondary school. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Thank you and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.